Hello. Today I want to talk to you about what to expect during an initial consultation call with a patient advocate. I'm going to tell you how we do it at Stepping Stone Advocacy Services. Each of us have our own little way and our own little processes, but basically that initial consultation is to find out the facts and to find out why you called and if we can help you. So to break that down, usually the first thing I ask is, how did you hear about us at Stepping Stone Advocacy Services? It can be a direct referral from one of our resource partners. It can be from the website. It can be a friend of a friend. There's so many different ways, and we like to keep track of that. And then I also want to know if you've ever worked with a patient advocate before and what your experiences were, because that's very important. Was it a good experience? It must have, hopefully it was, because they're calling for a patient advocate again. Next, I want to discover why it is that you're calling us, or your why, as we always say. And this is where we really, really listen. We let you talk and we listen. So oftentimes the discussion starts out very fact-based. They're usually telling the story, the events that have occurred that have caused them to want to call you. But behind what they're saying, I'm also listening with both ears, one ear on the facts and one ear to assess their emotional well-being, what's going on with them. Because we have identified some emotions that cause and trigger people to want to contact us as patient advocates. And we call that the fudge factor. And I want to kind of explain a little bit about that so you can understand what I'm identifying with when you call. And so the word is fudge, and each of the first letters of the word fudge represent an emotion. So F is for fear. So have you just been diagnosed with a terminal illness? I'll be listening for those kind of things. U for uncertainty. Does your mom require a transition in care from her home to an ALF? And do you feel uncertain if that's the right direction you want to go? Do you have doubts? Do you have a doubt about a diagnosis or a treatment? G is for guilt. Do you feel guilty that you can no longer take care of your dad at home when you promised him you would never, ever put him in a nursing home? And do you feel exhausted? Are you a young mom taking care of your mom who's living with you, and you have small children with no one at home that can assist you, with no outside help? I know that by identifying those emotions behind the call, I'll have the best opportunity to help you or your loved one get through this very, very difficult journey that you're going through. Once I've identified, yes, that there are some ways that our services that we provide can help you as a patient, I explain those reasons why. And if they still express an interest to hear more, then I'll start to explain how our process works, and I'll start to discuss the pricing. For example, I work off of a retainer with billable hours. So we ask for a certain amount of money up front based on what we assess as the needs that you're going to have over a certain amount of time, and we do that by billable hours. Some people invoice monthly. It just depends on the company and what their processes are. So once that's established and you're comfortable with the service package that we put together for you, I'll begin to discuss an overall larger picture view of our goals. What I hear you saying to me, what are your needs? What are you feeling? What do you need help with? So physically and emotionally, how can I help you? And we briefly come up with a plan. Once that's done, and we've agreed on the price, the plan, the next and last thing is that I have you sign a service agreement. And that service agreement is there for your protection and my protection. It spells out exactly what we can and cannot do as patient advocates, and also what the expectation is for you as our clients. And once that's back to us and signed, we send an invoice out, and you can pay by credit card or bank transfer. And so that's how this is all set up. And this is then when we go and we make that first initial call to gather information or maybe secure medical records, but that's when we actually start. So I hope this little bit of information gives you some confidence to call me if you think that you need a patient advocate, because sometimes making that first call is the hardest call. And so many of our clients tell me that once they make that call and a plan is in place to help relieve that fudge, they feel so much better. So if any of this resonates with you, or you're going through something like this too, I hope that this helps encourage you to not be afraid to make that call. Thank you.